Hey, what's going on, y'all? Chris Brown, he's back in the news again. Apparently, he got into a little altercation with Frank Ocean. You guys are not familiar with Frank Ocean. He was a Grammy nominee or whatever. He made, what's that joint? Thinking About You. That was like one of his bigger joints. Came out last year and said he was gay. Now, automatically the media is going to paint this up that it's Chris Brown's fault. He's the one that provoked it and everything. And no, the brother, he's not in the wrong this time. He went to the studio in L.A. and, Frank Ocean confronted him about some type of parking space or something like that. And to back it up, they already had an altercation. I believe it was in 2010. It might have been 2011. And some of the little Chris Brown's little homies rolled up on him and tried to bang on him and shit. Just cats who really are not familiar with the LA gangbanging lifestyle, and they come from different states and try to come over here and false represent things. So they try to bang on him and everything. Frank Ocean let it go out the window, but that right there already had the animosity in the air. They never really been on good terms ever since then. And so, he confronted them, said, you're in my parking space, blah, 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 start wolfing at him, typical shit that a gay man does. And, Chris Brown tried to ignore it. And, one thing led to another, and Frank Ocean, hauled off and started slapping him. So, obviously, no real man is going to let another person, especially a gay man, sit up there and slap the shit out of him, not do anything bad. So, he started tussling back. And then the entourage got into it, and, it's just a big mess. But, there is audio footage on this incident. I'm going to put the link in the description box. But, Chris Brown, he just can't catch a break. He's like the new Bobby Brown. It don't matter what happens. Immediately the media is going to paint him out to be the bad guy. Now, don't get me wrong, Chris Brown, I feel like, does need to slow down. I feel like he's doing a lot of things out of, rebellious, because he feels like, okay, well, you guys are going to paint me as a bad guy anyway, so I might as well go out here and act a fool and do stupid shit and, do certain things for shock value. That's kind of the attitude he has now. And he really needs to slow down. I know he's a grown man, but it needs to be somebody, one of the older heads in his camp that, pull him to the side and say, hey, you need to slow down. You need to watch what you say and where you step, because everywhere he goes, he's a target. The media is constantly after him. They've been on his ass ever since the whole Rihanna incident. So he's the bad guy when it comes to social media and selling magazines and just getting ratings overall. They know that he's a target and he's going to draw that in. So whoever they can profit off of or use to benefit themselves, they're going to do that. And I just think the brother needs to be more smart. He needs to watch certain things that he does. And, at the same time, I think he needs to, say some type of public service announcement. Straight up say, hey, back the fuck up. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to come out and, tell people to go to hell and to let you live your life. Because it's like, ever since that Rihanna thing that happened, I know he was a young guy and everything, but they haven't let that go. It seems like, every single thing that he's involved with, they try to link it back to the old Rihanna. Oh, he's a violent man because he beat up Rihanna and we saw him throw the chair out of the window. And don't get me wrong, Chris Brown does need to chill the hell out. But at the same time, it's like, leave him alone. That shit was years ago. He was a young guy, I'm sure. He's matured and he's grown from that incident. Get off of his nuts. Let the man live. But y'all give me y'all feedback. Let me know what you felt about this. Frank Ocean, that guy needs to just sit the hell down. It's like, come on, man, just knock it off. But I'm out. Stop the bullshit.